2-1. All right, let's do the draft. Come on, non-terrible deck. We're rooting hard. Oh, that's a strong start. Patriarch is a gimme. Oh, Predator. Why do you have to show up right here? You know how much I hate Necroium. I love you, Predator. Really, man. Really. This is nothing against you, Predator. I love you, Predator. Man, I hate your faction so much. So if I could be guaranteed I was going to get a Death Weaver, it was Wraith, I'd be totally fine going into Necroium. I'm probably taking Mr. Big Stuff. Almost certainly taking Mr. Big Stuff because I hate Necroium so much. UN Patriarch is fine. I mean, it's fine. It is fine. But UA is amazing. So, Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think? Oh, getting picked up with the Predator. And then, of course, I got rewarded with a Cavernous Ticket. So, that's a fitting punishment, though. Alright, then Life Shapers. Not bad. The only problem with Life Shaper is you often pick mostly Aloyan cards. Yep. There you go. You saw it here first, people. You saw Mr. Big Stuff get picked over Predator. You saw it. Yep. You can tell all your friends how insane I am. That's fine. I got you. But look, instead of Necroium, I've been able to pick so far a Beta and a War Charger. Far better than any Necroium card I could have seen. I really like all three of these cards. I'm going to take Patrol here. Wow, another Beta. I really want a Technosmith. And I really want a Jetpack. Oh, goodness. Game, why must you taunt me like this? You know I want a Jetpack, but you know I don't want it right here. And look at this, Gamma. Gamma? I already have 3 other dudes. Oh my god. That is ever so tempting. I mean, I don't have the balls to do it. I know a lot of people would here. They would just slam this Gamma. I don't think I'd do it. If this was my regular account, I would easily do it for fun. This is my free-to-play account, though. If I scrub out here, I'm done for a week. So, because of that, I don't think I can do it. He has a 16-16, which is pretty good. Let's see. I think we do need to do a straw poll. We need to do a straw poll right now. Do I pick him? I know you guys are all going to say yes, but bear in mind the ramifications that if you want to see me draft anymore today, and I scrub out, then I won't be able to. So, keep that in mind. Alright. Pick the Gamma. And scrub out. That's the poll. And if you guys... It can't be barely. It has to be like 75% or more to sway me. Because normally I won't be swayed by my audience on a draft. But I might let you hear. Alright, so here we go. Am I picking it or not? I say no. I say I pick probably the Patrol or even the Jetpacks. I already have a Nexus Core and an Alpha. But I'm guessing you guys are going to be insane and all want to see the Gamma. It's only 65%, guys. I said it's got to be 75% to sway me. See, there are a couple sane people amongst you. Ooh, the sane people are really picking up steam. Oh, my goodness. Ow. I'm really surprised. I thought a lot of people were gonna say yes. I'm surprised. Wow, is no gonna straight up win? That would be real surprising. I didn't see that coming, I must admit. Alright, so what am I going to pick then if I'm not picking Gamma? I had kind of resigned myself to having to pick Gamma. What's better, the Patrol or the Jetpack? I think it's the Patrol. Alright. The yeses win by a tiny bit. But not enough to make me pick it. But I might pick it anyway. Let's pick the Gamma. Let's go for it. It's so early to have this many that it might actually be a smart play. It might be smart. I don't think it is, but it might be. It could work out. Another big stuff. Oh, God. We need a jetpack. So basically, that was like the turning point of the draft. The draft was going great, and now it's kind of falling apart. Come on, jetpack. All right, Bear Iron's not bad. Fix the window. Yep, the window's mangled. Let's fix it. Bloop. There we go. Sorry about that. Yep, I picked it. I did it. This is a bad first pack, but Vault Technician's not a bad card. Third, Mr. Big Stuff with no jetpacks. If he was a Forge Guardian, I'd take him. I already have a Matriarch. This is not a grow wide deck. I think a Delver is useful. I do not like Botanimate in draft. I tend not to like... If I had a Technosmith or two, I would take it pretty happily. Hunting Pack is actually not as bad here because we have the Weirwood. I think because of that, I'll take it. Except for that's a 6. It doesn't scale well with him. But maybe I can do it under leveled. I feel like you're looking at why I didn't take Predator. Look at the Aloyan cards that I got. I got amazing Aloyan cards. If I had taken Predator, I'd have all garbage right now. It'd be garbage and Predator and Weirwood. And then I would get crushed. Jake, you're seeing some serious madness that has taken place here today. Coming a little late to this draft. I think Pilot's the right play here. I don't have much pump. In fact, I have 0. I have 1 pump in the whole deck in the strength and numbers. That is not that great. Hopefully we'll find some more. Second Shaper, second War Charger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Pretty split. War Charger or Shaper? Yeah, it's a tough call. The problem is I'm going to want to be playing these alphas and betas and gammas to the board so that it's kind of tough. Does Gamma sacrifice itself? Okay, he does. Good. Oh, boy. Your U is much worse than A. I know, I agree. That's why I probably am taking the War Charger. That's why I've been waiting so long. I mean, the Shaper is the obvious pick, but I'm mostly going to be playing the Gammas and such. Nexus Pilot. Wow, I could have had 3 Shapers in this draft. Holy mackerel. I'm going to take the Jetpack here. I have 2 big stuffs. Got an alpha. We'll be taking more. I could have had 4 shapers. Oh, dear God. This would have been the single greatest draft ever had I gotten 4 shapers. Wow. I am going to take a shaper here now. Oh, man. Now I'm really regretful. Wow, that's a late avatar. Is it actually reasonable here with the choices? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Not really, no. Soothing Radiance could be reasonable. I'm actually going to take it because it might keep my stuff alive to be able to gamma. Bear Rider. Tiny is so bad at drafting to gamma and then no more Guardians. I didn't see any more Guardians. What are you talking about? What other Guardians did I pass on? Yeah. No more Guardians was a problem. If I had got more Guardians, I would have been in business. Oh well. Let's see. I want to see the deck before we get rolling. Definitely sad that we didn't see any more Guardians. Yeah, I don't know what Sonata's talking about. I hope he's being sarcastic. Oh, and if you didn't see that I have a new article out today, make sure you check it out. It's the top page on the news item. I put out an article today on a deck that beats Growbots pretty well. It doesn't always beat Growbots because Growbots is awesome. So trying to claim something beats Growbots every time is a bit of a reach. Of course there's going to be giveaways after this draft. So let's go ahead and vote or predict, or however you want to say it. What am I going to do in this draft? This draft started out really strong and it kind of went off the rails. I only have 1 6 attack guy. I've got no buff other than 2 strength in numbers and 2 shapers. I don't think this is going to be that good of a draft, actually. I think this is a 2-1 draft. And it's going to be a frustrating draft, I think. I think it's going to be a 2-1 frustrating draft. I don't have a lot of room for pro plays. So, oh well. Hopefully I can make it 3-0, but I am not confident that I will be able to. We'll say that. Let's go ahead and start this thing. So instead of that gamma, I could have picked a jetpack or a light shield. Should have been good. The one is a failed gamma attempt. I totally agree, Sparhawk. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. It's going to be at least one game. Hey, we got this guy last time. He's the guy who resigned to the early Mr. Big stuff, so we're going to try to make that happen again. And I'm not going all in on the gamma trick. It's not going to happen. Going to do Nexus Pilot. Nexus Pilot's really, really good right out of the gate. Oh, God. That's frightening. All right, I'll trade one of them and somewhat limited removal, but and I don't have a 6 guy, so I guess I should just do this trade. Hope he doesn't buff. I don't really like that play. Yep, I know everyone wanted me to play Gamma turn 1, but no, not going to happen. Yep, that was a good play. And he's got 3 shapers. Remember when I could have had 4 shapers and I chose not to? Quite regretful of that. Yeah, so long against him is going to be a problem. And I don't think this wins short. Oh my goodness. So I have 2 betas and an alpha. I didn't see any of them. So this is going to be a really tough win. That's for sure. Really tough. Alright. Necrim just blew me out. Yeah. That's true. That is true. I'm gonna get crazy this game. I realize Nexus Pilot was probably the better play, but we're gonna get crazy. We're gonna Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? Wow, he just hunting packed. That's something. Good old hunting pack. I don't know if I've said this before, but it really makes me smile when my opponents try to hunting pack and they strike out. It goes something like this. Serves you right, man. Serves you right. Trying to hunting pack on me. Come on, son. Alright. War Charger. So that could have been a level 2 Nexus Pilot. So, probably bad play playing that Nexus Core. But, can jetpack it. Could jetpack my 2-5 Mr. Big Stuff. He struck out again. Come on, man. You're killing me here. Stop striking out on the hunting packs. You are killing me. Laughing too hard. What about Soothing Radiance Jetpack? Soothing Radiance Jetpack. Kind of considering it. Especially since I can do it post-combat even. How much is it? 8? Oh, it's only 6. Big difference. He knocks me down to 5 and back to 11. Oh, and I can't do it post-combat if I want this Shaper to live. Shaper wouldn't live anyway, so that's irrelevant. I'm going to do it. I mean, the only other card I really wanted to level there was Nexus Pilot. I realize this is kind of a madman play. But I'm gonna be a madman today. So the Hydra's only going to be a 4 anyway, so there isn't much point in hanging around in front of the Hydra. There we go. There's a big Mr. Big Stuff. Oh yeah, he's got epidemic. Oh yeah, that's kind of a problem. Yeah, no, I am being kind of a madman here. Totally agree. But I'm playing the non-madman play. I'm playing another Nexus Core. Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think? Jetpack should have been on the War Charger. That's a good point, actually. I mean, I wanted to put it on Mr. Big Stuff so he could roam around, but you're right. Probably would have been smarter on the War Charger to actually kill the guy. Alright. I was secretly hoping he would kill the Light Shield Patrol. Because I want to play Nexus Pilot. Do I want to play Beta? Yes. So here's a big problem. When a guy has 3 Shapers, playing Mr. Big Stuff's empty and laning them is probably a really bad idea. So I'm going to almost certainly have to overwrite him. Though, the Patriarch helps. Maybe I won't have to. It's a lot of buffage. Stop the buffing, my friend. That works out pretty well, actually. That works out pretty amazingly well. That early jetpack actually kind of came through in the clutch for us. So that was a mistake. I should have done that post-combat. I should have gone Patriarch now in 5, battle And then patrol in 1. It would have only given me 4 more damage, but it's 4 more damage. I mean, draft, sometimes it comes down to 4 more damage. I wanted to have the patrol there, but I think it would have been better the other way. Alright, a level 3 Mr. Big Stuff. Hello, Dolly. I can't wait to see that. Grimes specifically said that playing the Radiance pre-combat will not save the Savant, and then went ahead and played a pre-combat. Did I play a pre-combat? Wow, I meant to play a post-combat. When I'm streaming and talking, sometimes wires get crossed, and I do embarrassing things. You are correct, though. I meant to play a post-combat. If I played a pre-combat, that was a big blunder. But luckily, I drew a level 3 Mr. Big Stuff. What beats that? Besides maybe 2 level 3 Shapers. Just drafted 6 Cavern Hydra. If you drafted 6 Cavern Hydra and then drafted a billion buff cards, that's like the greatest deck ever. If you drafted 6 Cavern Hydras and didn't do that, that's like the worst draft ever. Cavern Hydra goes both ways. Yep, well then I'm an idiot. And it happens. Like I said, sometimes on stream, I say what I'm going to do, and I'm very clear about it. And so, as you can tell, I've thought of the correct play, and then womp womp, it goes bad. That's happened before. I would like to promise you that'll never happen again, but that would be a lie. Yes, I remember that too, Magstein. Not very fondly, though. Not very fondly at all. And Sever, good luck this weekend in Portland, man. A friend of mine is coming up to try to take that down. So good luck with that, man. Yeah, I hate it when I fail on execution as well. It's frustrating when you've made all the right plays in your mind, and then when it goes to leave the fingers, something happens, and you know, there's a jolt that happens in your brain because you're talking about other stuff, and then then bad things happen, and then you cry for a while. Then you're okay because you draw level 3 Mr. Big Stuff. It's really the key to life. My take on forging. Here's my take on forging. I think it's good. I actually think everything's good. I know people have complained that the commons are too cheap, but come on, man. There's thousands and thousands of commons hanging around. Like, if they were more, everything else would be worth nothing. Heroics is what I was worried about. I feel like the heroics are a reasonable enough level where I did the math on my free-to-play account, and it was something like I could cash in all my extra heroics for 3 legendaries, which is pretty good. The heroics are, not doing me anything. And then as far as the gating of set 2, I mean, I'm the person it affects most because I have a full collection. So by having it gated, it essentially means forging does not do anything for me, and it's like forging doesn't exist. And I'm still okay with that because I think Stoneblade has to make money, and if they didn't gate set 2 at all, there would be a ton of people that would just be able to craft all of set 2. And I mean, that would be great for me personally. Just personally, I would love that. If they were like, Tiny, we're going to do you a favor, or we're going to take away the gate just for you, I'd say, oh, that's phenomenal. But not having it gated means they won't make any money because the free-to-play people aren't paying money anyway. The pay-to-play wouldn't pay for set 2 because they would just craft it with all the stuff that they've already done. So, and it also, if you can craft the set day 1, It's not as fun. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it's just not as fun. It is fun to open packs and have that pressure of, okay, well, you know, I got a 3-0 this constructed queue or 4-0 or whatever they're going to have it be at that time. Because if I don't, then I'm not going to get that premium that I need to be able to get the cards from set 2 that I want. And there's not quite the same pressure. Set 1.5 had a lot of pressure attached to it. It was like, here's set 1.5, and by the way, the Forge Watch Invitational is in like 2 weeks, and all these cards are critical. That was a lot of pressure. This is much more of just having fun with the new cards, building stuff with what you got while you build up the set. So I'm perfectly fine with the gating. I do understand how some people aren't happy about it, but I think it's exactly what a free-to-play game is. You have basically everything is acquirable, but if you want to have it immediately, then you have to pay. And so I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think Mr. Big Stuff, he has an aversion to him. Last time he resigned. This time he's just done. He does not like Mr. Big Stuff. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe Terminator is actually real. He comes from the future. And when he sees Mr. Big Stuff, it reminds him of haunting memories. I don't know. But you may be right. He may not be coming back. Based on your collection, they can make commons 50, and they'd still be worth less than the heroics total. I don't know how big your collection is, though. There's people that draft a lot and have billions of commons. And I mean, it's like, in any game, commons are worth nothing. The only game where they're worth something is Hearthstone, and that is because Hearthstone doesn't have trading at all. And so they're able to just have this sort of internal system where no cards have value, so you can assign them whatever arbitrary value you want. And so that changes things a lot. If Solforge was not going to have trading, I would agree with you. I would say these are too low. But if they make commons worth a lot more, the legendaries are just worth less. And it's just, so they're trying to juggle multiple systems and multiple aspects of the game. Yes, there is an announcement with all the breakdowns of how much everything is going to be in Forging. Someone can probably link it to you. Yeah, so it is going to be interesting. So for me, I doubt I will forge anything. I will most likely, and let me rephrase that, on my main account. On my free-to-play account, I'm going to forge like a madman. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be able to buy like 5 or 6 legendaries right out of the gate. Be able to build Growbots immediately if I want to. Maybe pick up some Phoenix or Zemus to make myself some competitive decks. Or maybe I'll just craft all that into event tickets and play a ton of draft or play a bunch of constructed. That's one thing people are forgetting, that you're going to be able to craft this stuff into tickets, and tickets aren't that much. If tickets go up to 3,000 as they said they would, 5 cents or 5 silver for a common, was it 50 for a rare? You should be able to craft your extra rares and commons into quite a few tickets. So I think that's what you do. So they're sort of worthless, but they're not, because you should be able to turn them into at least maybe 10 tickets if you have a reasonable amount of commons and uncommons. Yes, you're not going to be turning them into legendaries. That's true. That's just not going to happen. That's fine. Turn them into tickets and win your legendaries. Yeah, it's some astronomical amount of commons for legendaries. Did I say 3,000? Yes, I meant 30,000. But yeah, if they made, basically, it's a trade-off. If you make forging too good for commons and uncommons, then legendaries aren't legendary. Like in Hearthstone, legendaries are not tough to acquire a full set at all. I mean, it's just they're not really legendary. You only need one of each. You just craft all your junky cards and you make them all. And so it's sort of a trade-off. Like, do you want legendaries to stay valuable, rare, something that someone might actually spend some money on? Or do you want to give everyone a full set of legendaries for free, quickly, right? Like, you can already earn them at a slow rate. And especially with, I feel like if they made commons and uncommons worth a lot more, they would have to reevaluate how generous they are with the rewards. And I'm not sure they want to do that. Yeah, Naglfar, I agree with that. It'll be really interesting to see how much silver we get every day, to see how much that impacts this whole system. And hopefully it'll be quite a bit. I mean, it's already quite a bit. I mean, since this guy is apparently not coming back. This is my free-to-play account. I'll show you how it's doing. I've never spent a cent on it, because why would I? It's my secondary account. And I haven't drafted that much on it. Maybe 15 drafts. Maybe less than that. And I have 1 million cards on it, because I've had this since day one. And I've been pretty religious about getting my dailies done. I have a ton of legendaries. I have millions of heroics. I mean, you can see this: 10, 11. I don't even have a full set of heroics, though. That's the funny thing. Like, I still need a Rite of the Grimgaunt, and I need a Justicar, which is funny. I don't think I need a Justicar. Must be in this deck. Nope, it's not. So I passed on Justicars because I thought I had to place it. I still need a Lifeblood Dryad. I apparently need 2 Explosive Demises still. When was day 1? What was that? August, maybe? So let's see. What is the most of any card that I have? So on my free-to-play account, you can tell which cards I like in draft. But you're all, look at this. All the top cards are UA cards, because that is all I draft. That's really humorous. Where's Mr. Big Stuff? He's way up there. I'd take that Mr. Big Stuff. But so there you go. I mean, this is my free-to-play account. If they made commons worth a lot, this deck would, or this account would just have all legendaries, basically. I mean, it's already doing well, but I'd be a lot closer. So I really can't say much more than I think they're pretty much on target. I mean, if they raise the amount that commons give out by a little bit, I might be okay with it. But I don't think other people would. I don't think raising it a little bit does much for anybody. I think people are only going to be happy if they raise it a ton, which I think just completely destroys the market for this game. And I don't think they want to go there. He played a card, everybody. Applause, sir. Applause for that. You actually played a card. Very excited. Killed Mr. Big Stuff. And I don't have a way to kill his Shaper, unfortunately. Problem is, if I put Mr. Big Stuff in front of it, it's going to be really hard to kill long term. If I put the Shaper in front of it, the Shaper's pretty much dead. So I'm going to put the Shaper here, put Mr. Big Stuff in front of it, and try to buff the heck out of Mr. Big Stuff. That's the problem. Yeah, that's true. I mean, all kinds of things can happen. Yeah, that was the real problem there. So now I drew Nexus Pilot, who could easily handle the Shaper, and won't be able to because I have Mr. Big Stuff there. So there's actually a chance I just go ahead and overwrite him. I don't want to, that's for sure, but I might. Okay, that's pretty good. In fact, I almost have to overwrite Mr. Big Stuff. He's not really accomplishing anything right now. Yep, we're going to overwrite him. Sorry, Mr. Big Stuff. Love you, but got to overwrite you. Now I have a pretty big, impressive board. Yep. No, I mean, I knew it was a bad position to be in when I played it, but I didn't really have another option there. I could have put the Shaper there and let it die instantly. I just really didn't want to do that. And the only way I was going to overwrite was if I happened to draw the Nexus Pilot, and I did. So I could play 2 underleveled cards and have the Nexus Pilot live. I think that would be madness. I think instead I'd rather do this. Feral Instinct. And then keep buffing him. And now he's a giant. And it's going to be really, really tough for him to win this one. I probably should have done that post-combat, actually. Because now the War Charger's stuck over there. It's kind of a bad play, actually. It didn't matter. Board was too good. Too strong. Alright, that's twice in a row I've beaten him in my 0-0 game. That one. What was your suggestion? Put the Grove Matriarch there. I didn't want to do that. And the only way I was going to overwrite that big stuff is if I got the Nexus Pilot. I could have let it live and go into other lanes. Alright. We'll do the her. And put the War Charger here. In case. No. I'm not going to want to jet over there. I got plenty of ways to handle that Shaper. Yep, 1-0. He took his full time, but he eventually did come back and play. Interesting. Wow, what are we doing here? What is happening? The True Mirror. I'm not really sure what to do here. I was thinking I was going to go Vault Technician, and then maybe Delver or Matriarch or even Pilot. Now I kind of like strength in numbers on the War Charger. I think I'm going to do that. I'll let the Nexus Pilots trade. I still have a 7-6. I mean, he's going to have to pull a 6-attack guy to kill it. If he doesn't, then I'm going to be in okay shape. I got the Beta and the Shaper. That's pretty good. Alright, he pulled it. That's fine. You should resign since you're unable to put a Dark Shaper in lane 1. I don't know what that means. Alright, here we go. Ooh, wow, I get the second Shaper level also. So I'm not going to level the Bear Riders. I'm going to try to get them to level 2 during level 2. He had to go kick his cat or something. Oh, boy. I don't really want to screw around with the Gamma, to be honest. I just have so little interest in this Gamma. I mean, if I get it early in like the right spot, maybe, but I don't think so. I'd rather level the Mr. Big stuff. So probably War Charger, Matriarch. Certainly not a great hand. Just gonna have to hope that he doesn't get buff. And Nexus Core did okay. Yep, Gamma's not going to work out in this deck. If I had more, I mean, when I took him because A, you guys really wanted to see me take him. That's fine. I do like to please you guys. But more importantly, it looked like it could actually work. I had enough guys early where there was a chance that it could work out. And then they just didn't come, and that's fine. I knew that was a possibility when I did it. This is kind of tough. I'm going to move the War Charger over and put the Shaper in 1. But then after that, I could go Bear Rider 4, buffing it. I could battle, put the Bear Rider in 5, but buffing it does nothing because it dies anyway, and I can't buff the Shaper, so I would have to buff it, which is kind of pointless. I could go Nexus Pilot in the middle, which I don't like. I could go Shaper in 1, strengthen numbers on the Seedling, buffing it so that it would actually kill the Infiltrator. That's a possibility. I could even buff the Shaper. I don't really like that though. I don't really love any of these plays is what it comes down to. None of them are that great. I don't think I want to leave an 11-6 Shaper out is really the bottom line. So since that is the bottom line, I think I will kill it with strength in numbers, I guess. Do like strength in numbers anyway as a card, so that's fine. Not a play I like. Not a play I like at all, but oh well. Wow, not a single trigger in this hand. That's kind of unfortunate. I do have the War Charger, though. That was interesting. What else is he doing? Actually, Naglfar is probably right there. It probably would have been better just to pump to level the Bear Rider. I think that would have been a smarter play. Actually, I think that was a mistake. We will do that, and I'm actually going to block him. Yeah, Savant's not that great in this deck. I mean, it really is the danger of playing UA. All your good cards are A. They're not Utera. You're playing Alolan with Utera Pump. That's basically what happens. So when you take Shapers, kind of hurts. Yeah, exactly. I mean, those pilots were really bad for him. He did not maximize his pilots at all. I would be tempted to say he just straight played them poorly. Some choices here. I kind of like Bear Rider in 1, pumping the War Charger, and then Beta in 4. I think I'm going to do that. Getting the Bear Rider leveled is really good. He has a very good level 2 body that trades exceptionally well on player level 3, so it's really good to get him leveled. And that's why I say I think I made a mistake on the turn before leveling the strength in numbers, which can be really good. But Bear Riders, like this right here, had I done that correctly, it would be a 16-8. I'd have a 16-8 in hand that would trade anything on the board that he plays, which is way different than the scenario I'm in now. Alright, so that helps if he doesn't have any pump. Pretty happy about that. And I wasn't really thinking there when I did that play. That's okay, though. Still works out. The Bear Rider still ends up getting leveled. And I can trade off him for minimal problems. Okay. Let's see what we can get now. There we go. Level 3 Shapers. Will we get anything to play with them? Or will we just get all amazing Utera cards? Only time will tell. Okay, only one level 3, man. You already got 2 last. Not that one. Anything but that one. That one crushes my face so hard. Okay, never mind, it doesn't. I assumed he was going to reduce him. I am going to put the Shaper in front of the Sentry. Actually, I'm not. Because the Shaper trigger would hurt it too much. So I'm going to go Shaper. And then next turn, hopefully, I'll be able to buff up enough to catch each of those guys. Alright, Beta is going to be bonkers. And then I can buff the War Charger to take out the Sentry. Love to play Mr. Big Stuff. Would love it. But don't think I'll get to do that. Oh. I'm assuming that War Charger gets buffed by a Shaper, which it does not. So I can't buff anyone. Nightmare hand, for sure. I mean, good hand, but pretty much a nightmare hand. Not going to be able to take out the Sentry. Get nothing from the Shapers. And that's where blocking the 3/3 was a bit of a problem. It really did allow me to be weak to that Adept. I mean, the Shaper makes it the case anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, but Beta's going to go here, kill him. And I think we're going to try to trade over 2 turns against the Sentry and hope that it works out. That was a bit of a troubling hand. Yeah, I mean, the bait is great, so it's not that big of a deal. If that Shaper lives, things are going to be quite phenomenal here. I have really good choices. I could go Bear Rider, Strength in Numbers, and do insane buffs on the Beta. Like, that's a real legit possibility. Okay, so he took that away by having a bonkers hand of his own. He has drawn very well. Give him that one. Well, might be dead. He drew exceedingly well all player level 3s. So when you can have 3 level 3s lined up on the board, they're in business. I drew pretty well on level 3 too, except for the fact that my Shaper was entirely worthless. So if he plays much of anything here, I'm screwed. If he pumps the Infiltrator, I just lose. So any pump on the Infiltrator and I'm dead. Any pump really at all and I lose. And then if he plays good cards on top of that, I also lose. So there are a lot of ways I lose here. Now if he doesn't, he kind of strikes out here, I'm going to be okay. Because I'll kill the Infiltrator. Yeah, okay, so that actually worked out incredibly well for me. I kill the War Charger, live. I'll be able to kill the Metamind Adept, live with the Technician. And it all is working out well from that standpoint. I could move over the War Charger and just trade, but I want to do the damage here. Yeah, no, I got pretty lucky. I mean, I didn't have a lot of choices there. You like killing the Adept, huh? I mean, even if he jetpacks, he doesn't jetpack past me. Jetpack only gives him 1. Alright, so I'm in quite good shape now. Let's see. 33, 10 on board. Since I only need 10 more, we're going to go the Gamma! Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, maybe I could have moved post-combat. Sure. I was fine with my play. Alright. So, more level 3s for the win. How did you do damage there? Oh, you had a Glutton. That's funny. Let's see. Let's do Beta. And Strength in Numbers. We played the Gamma. The Gamma won the game. Pure and simple. Alright. 2-0. See if we can get it done. Can we do it? Yeah, I agree. That definitely was an option. It might have been a better option. If I had done that, then I trade off the Adept. I have a big guy. The way I did it, I forced him to play whatever big guy he drew that could have been substantially bigger than the Metamind. He had to block the War Charger. The War Charger kills nearly anything he plays. So the way that was going to come out is I was going to have my guy, and he was going to have none out of those 2 lanes. But if I had done it the other way, it might not have worked out quite as well. That was the thought, at least. All right, beta. Happy. Beta wins. Is Necrim not bad? No. I'll go with no. I hate Necrim personally. I just don't like Necrim. My opponent showed you what Necrim can look like when it's pretty good. He had a lot of good cards in his deck. But I tend to draft very, very poorly when I get Necrim. And I just don't like Necrim. And let me rephrase that. I love Aloyan also. So if you're telling me I can choose Aloyan over Necrim, I'm just going to take Aloyan almost 100% of the time. And you saw it really there. I mean, if I'm willing to take Mr. Big Stuff over Predator, I like Aloyan better than Necrim by quite a bit. But remember, I'm not an elite drafter that can take any archetype and mold it on the fly into something good. I'm much better as a constructed player, and so the way I play draft is kind of like a constructed player. So like I found an archetype I like a lot, and I draft into that archetype, and then that way it's almost like a constructed deck. I'm just sort of saying like, okay, this is what I like to play, and so I'm molding my decks to be that. All right, so what do I do here? I think I leave the War Charger on the board. It's a pretty good card. I trade off the Pilot for him. I go most of the way towards taking out that Matrix Warden. I do that. I agree with Tempe's. Everyone says Tempe's has so many good commons, and I don't see them normally. I agree, though. They do have good commons. Stonefist Giant's great. Magma Hound's great. The Bruiser's great. What is her name? Windcaller, I think is her name. She's great. I just tend to not see them. Whereas Aloyan has, like, 12 good commons. And for example, no one picks Mr. Big Stuff but me, and I actually am able to get value out of him. And so if you can get value out of cards that no one is picking, ergo you get them in good spots where it's between that and garbage, that's one of the reasons why I feel like AU has been working so well for me, just because card evaluation. That's too bad. So he gets wiped my board. And I pretty much have to play Vault Technician, even though it dies. And I think I'm going to Hydra. I can level the Bear Rider. Normally you can get it leveled on level 2 by trading it off for something, and then it's still really great going into level 3. So you don't have to level it player level 1. Yeah, for me, I had been drafting a lot of Utera Necrium, like almost exclusively, and just bleeding tickets and not having that much fun. And once I just said, okay, here's the deal, I'm just going to do AU, period, I started having a lot more fun with it. And it might just be a me thing, right? Like I said, I'm not a draft master, so I enjoy AU, and because that's what I'm really liking, and that's where all the best cards are, that's what I draft. That's too bad. Actually, I guess it doesn't do much. For a second there, I thought he was going to be able to draft the Hydra, but he obviously was not. Alright, so that's fine. I guess I'll do the Nexus Pilot. I could draw another one and have to overwrite it. So that could be a problem. And in fact, had I played this turn slower, I think what I would have done is gone Vault Technician in 1, Bear Rider 5. That would have been a much better play. Leaves the middle lane open still for the Nexus Pilot in case I draw it. Trades off the Huntress while leveling the Bear Rider, which is better than leveling a level 1 Pilot, I think. A level 2 Bear Rider is just amazing for trading when you get kind of screwed and they get the all level 3 hand. So I'm just going to say that was an error. Wasn't a huge game losing type error, but it was an error. I imagine he's going to, buff himself, trade that off. Don't really want to put anything in the middle, so I don't think I'm going to. I'll go Hydra, I'll do Beta, and then I'll take 8 from the Rune Grove in case I draw a pilot. And if I don't, then I'll just trade him off this turn because he'll be active. And there's the pilot. So it worked out really well. Had I put the beta in the middle, then I would have lost the beta. And I mean, I guess I could have. He could have just killed the beta, so that's fine. But the point is, here I get full value by waiting. Remember, life is a resource. You can get really low on life and be just fine. So don't be afraid to fully use it. So the real question here is, do I even consider Delver? Delver's leveled. I just think in this deck, where I don't have quite enough pump, Delver's not that strong. This deck, more than most decks I've played, looks like it's just a straight punch him in the face kind of deck. And Delver is not that great. What is he doing? Wow. This is the second person who's done this. Wrong laning the pilot because they're afraid to overwrite a crappy creature. I think that's a mistake. I mean, I could be wrong on that one, but I consider that a mistake. Is life a highway? I loved that song when I was younger, by the way. Life is a highway. Yeah, I will admit that. I don't know if that says something bad about me, but that's a fact. I like that song a lot. All right, so the War Charger is going to get to eat a level 1 Patriarch and a level 2 Pilot and live, maybe? Maybe not. Are you going to buff the Patriarch again to kill the War Charger? He is, and it lives. That is a womp womp if I ever saw one. Well done, sir. Did not see that coming. And with my terrible, terrible hand, it worked out really well, actually. You would have thought I would have had something to kill that pilot, but I don't. It's going to have to be, I guess, the Shaper. And hope that either he'll have to put another card into it, which isn't the end of the world. Could have done the Alpha there, but I really hate Alpha. Unless I have a deck that... Okay, I don't mind Alpha as much if I can go level 1, because then you're going to get the level 3 maybe on level 3, but I don't like having a bunch of Alpha 2s hanging around doing nothing. I feel like you're just wasting so much incidental damage, and I'm really not that comfortable with that approach. Alright, you got Justicar, Avatar, Succubus, Mystic, Dreadbolt, and Pyre Giant. Goodness. That's a really bad... I mean, I think you take Justicar because it's the best card in the pack, let alone because you want to be an Aloyan. I mean, Justicar's pretty good, and the other cards are pretty garbage. I mean, Dreadbolt can be okay, but... I mean, like, if you're Dreadbolt Aloyan, I like Dreadbolt a lot better, because then you can actually sometimes level it with Technosmith, but if you're forced to level Dreadbolts every time you see them, ugh, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that in draft. Alright, Nakabur struggling a bit here. He needs an answer. He needs multiple answers. Who is he going to poison? The Hydra, I'm guessing? The Seedling. What? What are you doing, man? Oh, I guess that means he's just going to kill the Hydra. Okay, there you go. That makes way more sense. Alright, so he was able to wipe my board, so that was too bad. Oh, wow, and this Matrix Warden lived. I didn't even realize that was going to happen. So this is a really good spot, again, for a Bear Rider. Get one leveled. I mean, leveling it on 3.1 is not exactly ideal. Oh, boy. Problem is, Technician as your level 3 card is kind of... He's okay, as long as he doesn't put something too good in front of it. It's not that great. Okay, that works pretty well. That's truly unfortunate. Alright, I guess the choice is clear. It's not, actually. I was going to Hunting Pack, But actually the Assassin's level 2 is really strong, so. If he was lower, if he was at like 30 or something, then maybe I would have Hunting Packs. Hunting Packs just so terrible. Look at this hand. This deck was not the deck for Shapers. Oh, dear Lord. A 100% worthless Shaper 2. Oh, boy, this game is going off the rails for me quickly. I'm going to have to go Shaper. And I really got to kill this Guardian here. If I don't kill the Rune Grove here, life's going to get real tough. Gotta look at some stuff here. Oh, what could he do? He's got a fair amount of buff that we've seen. Not an exceeding amount of buff, but a fair amount. I think I'm just going to go beta there. Please don't have a buff. Please don't have a buff. I'm asking you nicely. I mean, I don't know what else you want from me, man. Don't buff him. Phew, that was lucky. If he'd buffed there, so much trouble I'd have been in. Wow, that's still so much trouble. That was good. I guess I have to waste the bait on it. Problem is, if he buffs, it's really going to be a wasted beta. It's just not worth playing like a Shaper over a War Charger here. I don't think I'm going to block this Warden because he's so low as it is. I mean, I got to think that I can finish him off with about anything. There we go. That's a really good hand, actually. Being able to go Shaper, Matriarch. That way I can put the Matriarch in front of that Warden, kill it, gets to pop, and I get to buff potentially the War Charger. Who's he going to buff here? Should be himself. Unless he can keep that Nexus pilot alive, the clear play is buffing itself. Okay. That's good. That makes me think Nexus pilot's dying. Oh, that really hurt. Like, really hurt, actually. Darn it. I'm going to have to lose my whole board again, I think. I think the best play is to go Shaper 1. Move War Charger over. Man. Could trade. Actually, maybe that's the way to do it. It's just to trade life totals. So I'm going to have... I'll be able to do 20 damage with that War Charger. I think that's the way to do it, actually. It's kind of risky. But I think I like it because I am going to have the Shaper here he has to deal with. And this War Charger is going to be a beast. Problem is I'm not going to be able to move it out of the way very well. Actually, I think what I'll do is I will battle and then I'll move it over. He actually lives barring buffs, so that's going to be that's going to be the smart play. I mean, maybe you guys are thinking that I should have moved it first, but I don't think so. I think this is better. Especially with his hand. Oh, man. At least I put some pressure on him. Actually, if he can't kill that Shaper, I might be able to do some buffing to do stuff. Wow. It's got a lot of Matrix Wardens, and they are making life hard. Please have a bad follow-up, because this hand is ridiculous. Oh, God, that's not a bad follow-up. This actually works out okay. Assuming he doesn't have buff, of course. I can go beta in 4 and strengthen numbers it and buff it. Wish I don't have to do that. And go beta 4. The buff is 5 anyway. Maybe I go Matriarch. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do Matriarch in 5. Buff the beta. This is really an ugh kind of scenario. That was a really terrible 4-point whatever hand. I need him to follow up this with a bad hand. I mean, 3 straight oh god. Come on, man. 3 straight Matrix Wardens and then a Nexus Pilot 3? This is getting to be pretty ridiculous. Okay, well, I don't think I can win this at this point. When you can drop 6 or 7 or 8 straight level 3s, then you're usually going to win. And that Rune Grove is going to pop. This has been kind of ludicrous at this point. Alright, I'm not going to put that in front of the pilot. There's no point. It's not going to do enough. Unless I want to go post-combat, actually. So this is what I'll do. I'll go like this. Attack. And post-combat, this is going to go over here. Basically, just because of that Guardian pops, I'm in huge trouble. Alright, how about you finally have a bad hand? You want to try that on for size? Come on, man. Come on. One time have a bad hand. Because this has been the single greatest drawing I've ever seen. Just one time. Doesn't have to be terrible. Just 2 level 2s. That'll be fine. So we'll be able to handle the pilot. And maybe not blocking him was the right way. I don't know. I kind of struggle with that. When we get late and we're just, especially if my opponent drops piles and piles of 3s on me, I have a hard time not blocking them. Wow, okay, cool. I thought for sure he would pump that guy. Ooh, wow. Ask and you shall receive, huh? My goodness. That is a bad hand, friend. Oh, so tempting to keep the Cavern Hydra alive. Oh my goodness. Can I keep the Cavern Hydra alive? If I strengthen numbers it, it'll go up to 8. He'll still die. It'll still only be a 7. That'd be pointless. Must resist pointless plays. I think I'm going to go beta. And I'm not actually going to block the Bear Rider. Everything kills the Bear Rider. Alright. Like for instance, I can go Shaper, Ghost Scale Cobra 1, buff it, kill the Bear Rider if I really want. Like, there's actually a really good chance that's what I'm going to do. Because it's going to... The Cobra on 2 is not too bad. The Technician's already a 3. Trading the Technician straight up for the Bear Rider is somewhat pointless. Well, that's unfortunate. Everything dies, right? Actually, no. If I play the level 1... the beta could live. The problem is if I try to make that beta live, then the Bear Rider does a crazy amount of damage unless I block and kill it. I don't think I want to do that though. I think I'd rather have the Shaper live. Because I can trade off the board and have a Shaper left on the board, which is pretty solid. I mean, not so solid with this deck. I think that's what I have to do. I could have had the Technician live, but I'd rather do this. Actually, that was all wrong. I should have done it like I said I was going to do it. I should have just put the Cobra there and buffed it. So if we get to level 6 and I see that Cobra again, I think I'm going to be pretty upset. Yeah, you might be right, Naglifar. It might have just been better trading off the lower statted Shaper because I don't have that many under-leveled Utera cards that are any good at all. And clearly this hand is saying that, but yeah, that's a good point. That might have been a smarter play. Probably would have. We could say this. Shaper has more health. But I don't think that's the reason. I think the 18 trades off about anything. Yeah, that pilot's really strong. So if he doesn't have a pretty decent hand here, that pilot's going to be good. The problem with my play here, and I think you're completely right in this, I should have played the other guy. He can play a level 3 in front of the Shaper and just kill it. Whereas it won't trade. And then I'm going to have to deal with it again, and it's kind of a problem. So I should have played the Technician. I got kind of blinded by the fact that it is a Shaper, not really thinking thoroughly about we're on player level 5, and if I see 3s, I'm going to play them. I probably don't even have any decent under-leveled Terra cards in my deck. I think I have like 2 Bear Riders, some Strength in Numbers, a level 2 Hydra. So I do have some things, but I mean this deck is built on the back of the good Terra card, or the good Alloyan cards that I'm going to want to play. Sure, it's taken a while for his turn, so I'm not sure if that means he's unavailable or if he just doesn't have good cards here. Okay, so he does. He's got plenty of good cards. He's going to Venom Fang and take the 12, huh? Nope. He's going to do it that way. Okay. That's perfectly reasonable. I think, again, I have to trade the beta for the big guy because it's going to be really hard to kill the pilot. There we go. Another pilot. That's actually pretty much worst case scenario. That is not the level 3s I wanted to see. That's unfortunate. Especially since he has no... Oh, good. Okay. He can kill it. Perfect. Let's see. All right. Let's trade him off. Start on another pilot. And I'm not going to put the Hydra in front of the Matrix Warden. If I can't trade it, I'd rather be able to put it in an empty lane, kill the Matrix with something else, and maybe buff the Hydra. Now, I didn't find buff, so that is unfortunate, but that's okay. That worked out better than it should have. Yeah, I kind of lucked out there, actually. Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. That worked out well. So if we're going to talk about working out well, that works out well. All right, that might do it for him, actually. So I'm going to have 3 guys on board with just huge attack totals, with the War Charger able to move also. So he's basically going to have to block these 2 guys, kill them. I do 21, barring any pump at all. I only have the 3 pump. Yep, finally he had a bad hand. Hooray. I agree, we might have the worst deck here, but we do have the betas and War Chargers, so I think we don't have the worst deck. I think I would rather have... Oh, no, we have the worst deck. I mean, he has like 4 Matrix Warden 3s, so that's pretty tough. But the Matrix Warden 3s aren't working out that well because they're not allowing him to have a body that sticks around. So there's been a number of trades, like with the War Charger, where the Matrix Wardens are dying and I'm living, and that's been one of the keys to this game. It's happened a couple times. It's been kind of tough. This is the 3rd game. This is the 3-0 game. If I win it, it's all done. It's all over. I am the champion. And it looks like that's going to be it, because he's not going to be able to block all these lanes. In fact, I just straight win here with the jetpack. It's 21. Jetpack's 22. Blunk. Or not 22, 24. And then I'll beta just for fun. That's it. There we go. There's what happens. You take Mr. Big Stuff over Predator pick 2, and you go 3-0. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. That was really fun going 3-0 with a deck that I picked Mr. Big Stuff over Predator. Did it look insane? A little bit. A little bit insane, yeah.